No. Hey guys, how's everyone doing? I hope you're doing all right whenever you see this video. So I do apologize. This was coming later than I wanted, but I did have some friends in town visiting. All right, so this is, without further ado, going to be a general reading for both Taurus and Gemini, and I will be providing timestamps for each. For some people who just want one or the other, after the live is done, I'll put it in the comments and in the description box below. All right, but yes, this is going to be a general reading for both signs, Taurus and Gemini. So general can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, money, etc. And they are both timeless readings. So remember, whenever you see this message, it is meant for you. Okay. So for some people, it could resonate within the month of July, or it could be even a couple of months in the past, or even a couple of months in the future, since it is a general reading meant for multiple people. All right, so it's not an individual reading, one-on-one kind of thing. But if that is something that you're interested in, I do have all that info too in my description box below. All right, so with all that being said, we're going to start with Taurus here. I pulled all of your cards ahead of time, Taurus, just to save a little bit of time. And I will be taking, I already actually took the photo of all of your cards here that I will be posting after the live is done, in case you want to see them all up close in detail at a later time. So that's also something you can find in the description box below. Usually about 10 minutes or so after the live is done, I just post it. All right. But yes, we all have Taurus somewhere in our chart, so everyone is welcome, whether you're sun sign, Taurus, you are a rising or ascendant Taurus, you have your moon in Taurus, or you have your Venus in Taurus, or your Jupiter, right? Wherever it is, we all have Taurus somewhere in our chart. Okay. All right. And if you don't know how to find out about your chart, Catholic Astrology is a great free website that can give you more insight, even if you don't have your exact birth time. So all that too should be in the description box below, or you can even just do like a basic a basic Google search to find out where you can get a free birth chart. All right, so with all that being said here, Taurus, I did want to start off with doing a quick little sound bell here for you guys and for myself to just help ground, to reconnect in our body, our spirit, and our mind, and just have a couple of moments to take a couple of breaths if we feel guided. All right, so let's go ahead and do that now, and then we'll get started with your reading. Just be aware it will be loud for a few moments, but not forever. All right, here we go. So this is for Taurus. All right. Let's see what we have coming up here for you, Taurus. Again, I do apologize for the delay. I had some friends in town, but here we are. It is divine timing. Okay, so let's talk about real quickly the time frames when some of these things may occur, and then go ahead and call it your cards. Okay, so I'll say those real quickly right now, and then I'll say them again when we're on each card at the top. Okay, but we're going to say that the first card can be from around July 1st through the 8th. Okay, so that's technically already in the past, if that's how you view time, since time is fluid and relative, right? The second card we said could be from around July 9th through the 16th. The third card can be from around July 17th through the 23rd, and the fourth card can be from around July 24th through the 31st, or even maybe the first week or two of August. All right. So let's see what we have here for you, Taurus. We've got the Ten of Swords in the right side up position, the Ace of Cups in the right side up position. We have the Ten of Sacred Circles, also known as Ten of Pentacles, in the reverse position. And we have the Four of Staves, also known as Four of Wands, in the reverse position. Okay. And then we'll get to these other cards where Spirit wanted me to talk about them in particular. But I just like to call out the first four main cards at the top in the beginning. Okay, now let's go ahead and see what other zodiac signs here are showing up for you as far as the major arcana. All right, so Taurus, you really only have one major here. It's not necessarily a good or bad thing. It is in the past position. So you got the Hermit, that's Virgo energy. So for some of you guys, you could be dealing with a sun sign Virgo, or someone who has a lot of Virgo in their chart, or maybe even you have a lot of Virgo in your chart, or it could also be referencing Virgo season of this year, of last year, or even next year, or again, a clue in someone's birth chart, or it means nothing at all. Okay, I just like to call it out in the beginning. All right, now let's see here what is the majority of your minor arcana, Taurus. Okay, so let's see, we've got Two Swords, Two Cups, Two Wands, wait, Three Wands, that's probably what it is, One Pentacle, and the Hermit, which is a major. Okay, so it's definitely going to be Wands as the majority of your minor arcana. So what does that mean? It could be an underlying theme to your reading. So Wands talk about wines or wands. That was weird. Maybe you're drinking wine. Okay, Wands, also known as Staves in this other deck, is fire sign energy. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, not the particular card, but the energy is there for all three zodiacs. But it really talks about our physical body, our health for some. It can be what makes us fired up and passionate, get us moving, action oriented, lots of action around, fire energy. Okay, so we'll revisit that. But again, we just like to kind of look at it in the beginning. Taurus, you also have your Oracle card over here, which I do at the very end, but I think hopefully you can at least see the colors. It's like bright red and orange and a little bit of yellow and white. So definitely like some fire energy showing up here for you, the fire colors in your reading so far. But let's go one by one and see what we have here for you, Taurus. All right. So when we're talking about the first card in particular, this can be energy from the recent past that's still kind of trickling in that we're picking up. What is the recent past for you? It will be different for everybody. It could be a couple of days ago, weeks, months, years, etc. Right? But also in particular, when you're coming to this reading may be about you, Taurus, or someone you're dealing with, multiple people you're dealing with, general environment situation. All right. So let's see what we have here. Just again, keep that in the background of your mind. We have the 10 of Swords in the right side up position as your first card here, Taurus, which we said could be from around July 1st through the 8th. And it's a could be because the timing in tarot is not set in stone, and it's a genre reading for multiple people. The good thing about the 10 of Swords, I know some people who are familiar with tarot might be like, oh no, is it is a 10 of Swords. It's not a 8, 7, 8, 9 of Swords. It's a 10. So 10 in the tarot is the highest number. So it is coming to a close at some point. What this energy is about, some type of anxiety, worry, overthinking, or being mentally exhausted, okay? And again, it doesn't have to be you, Taurus. It could be someone you're dealing with, or the general environment situation here, okay? But hopefully you can see all these swords are going down into somebody who is laying on the ground, and there's a samurai guy standing over them, okay? And so again, that's that mental exhaustion that then turns into possibly physically being exhausted as well, and why this person is laying down, having all these things bring them to some type of even physical exhaustion after it starts as a mental exhaustion, okay? But again, the good thing here, Taurus, is it is a 10 of Swords, not a 7, 8, or 9. So it is hopefully, going to be over very soon, if not already. Since again, this reading is a little bit later than I wanted to initially have it posted. Okay. Now, we're saying that each one of these 4 cards in the top can be around a week's time frame or so, but it doesn't have to be. But whatever this Ten of Swords here at the beginning of your reading, Taurus, it then shifts, okay, to some really nice energy in your second week. So now you'd have forward momentum, progress, a faster pace with something. But also, I want to pause it here too, because pause the reading where we're at currently, right? Is because if we were to look at your whole reading and there was something that you wanted to accomplish within your control, I would say that that second week of July is really nice energy here for you, Taurus. Okay, and again, we said it could be from around July 9th through the 16th or so. Okay. So again, let's just show you the first card versus the second, okay? We have the Ten of Swords, and now we have the Ace of Cups in the right side up position. So once this mental exhaustion, this anxiety, worry, overthinking is put down or comes to an end, then we have the Ace of Cups in the right side up position. This is about an energy that is about something emotionally fulfilling or satisfying. Aces are also about endings, new beginnings, right? So the fact that it follows that Ten of Swords is a really nice energy here for you, Taurus. It also, anytime we see the aces, it strengthens our innate talents and gifts. But in particular, because it's a cups ace, right? That is that thing that is emotionally satisfying or fulfilling, right? It just feels good emotionally here, okay? And it's literally the imagery in this deck is your cup runneth over, right? And so when we talk about the cups in the tarot, also water and the imagery, that is our emotions. But here they're flowing in a really nice, more comfortable, positive way. Again, after that Ten of Swords, so it feels like divine timing and feels definitely welcomed here, Taurus. So I like to see that for you. Now, also when we talk about the Ten of Cups in the right side up position, it could be that there was something that was started in the recent past, or even just, currently coming up, or depending on when you see this reading, where you are, or someone is, or the general environment situation is creating something out of a difficult, harsh environment or situation and still making it beautiful. So a lot of times in other decks, you would see a lotus flower in this card. And so the lotus flower grows in the water, not in the land. So it talks about evolution and, again, perseverance and what's the other word I'm thinking of? Resiliency. Okay, so again, creating something beautiful out of a more difficult, harsh environment or situation. Okay, so again, Taurus, that feels really nice here for you in that second week of July or so. But let's keep going and see what else we have here for you. So Taurus, when I was shuffling and I pulled all of your cards and put them on the table here, I felt a little bit like there was some type of, not second guessing per se, but going back to past ways of dealing with something, okay? Because your third card is the Ten of Sacred Circles in the reverse position. And it follows, again, the second card being that Ace of Cups. Now we have Ten of Sacred Circles, or also known as Ten of Pentacles. Now it's in the reverse position. So this is what we would call an energetic blockage, gentle reminder, or slow down here, Taurus. Sorry, I'm trying to turn it down and I turned it up. Okay. And so it's like you would think that after the Ten of Cups, something emotionally satisfying, fulfilling, endings, new beginnings, something emotionally feeling good and exciting, then you would think you would get the abundance if we're talking about money, wealth, finances, or just whatever it is you want to manifest in your life. It doesn't just have to be money, but it's in that reverse position. And it could be that someone or some energy here is feeling a lack of support, whether it is with finances or just with being valued with this Ten of Sacred Circles in the reverse position. If it was right side up, we would see this Native American village, everybody all together under the full moon, right? But it's reversed. So it's like this ending, new beginning, fresh start energy that happened in the second week. It's kind of not carried through currently in the third week because I feel like somebody is triggered in some way, okay? And it's going back to maybe some past patterns here. I mean, we'll know more as we go through the reading, but yeah, it's not the end of the world, right? It's a slowdown of energy. So now let's look what's underneath it to get even more insight about maybe why this card showed up here in reverse position here for you, Taurus. So these two cards underneath it are energy from the past, again, whatever the past is for you. But I also call them the sponsor cards. These cards made it possible for this 10 of Sacred Circles in the reverse position to show up here. So what we have on one side is the Ace of Staves in the right side of position, fire sign energy. And then over here we have the Hermit, Virgo energy in that reverse position. Again, past energy, okay? So it's like if there was something here in the past that made you excited and fired up and passionate and creative, or you had better health, or you were doing more action, taking more physical action in something in the past here, it then kind of created this energy where somebody wasn't using their intuition or slowing down enough. Perhaps in the past here, Taurus, you were taking too much physical action in the past and not integrating, let's say, your mind, body, spirit connection in some way. Or again, if it's not you, Taurus, it could be another person, multiple people, general environment situation. But when that Hermit is in the past position and in the reverse position, somebody is not slowing down to hear their intuition, to hear their gut reactions to things, okay? Perhaps somebody is also doing, like I just said, too much physical body action stuff, and they need to slow down and go inward, okay? If the Hermit was in the right side up position, to have some type of social or energetic solitude. Okay, so there was maybe a lack of solitude, or even if it was just energetically, right? Sometimes we can't control if we always have to be around people, especially with work and stuff, right? But yeah, that's kind of what I'm picking up so far here, Taurus. But it feels like, again, this past energy now maybe is integrated. The Hermit in reverse in the past, so not taking enough social breaks and listening to our intuition. So maybe someone now is wanting to integrate that in the future current probabilities section, which is that four main cards here on the top. But it's almost like at the wrong time. So, or it's taken to the extreme, right? So the Ace of Cups, the emotions, could be our intuition, right? So tapping into the right side up position of the Hermit, because maybe somebody integrated this from the past, but then they took it to the extreme with the 10 of Sacred Circles in the reverse position. So isolating too much, or not feeling like they or you can rely on their support system, whether it's financially or just being valued in some way. So it's almost, again, triggered by something in the past and trying to integrate those lessons, but maybe taking it too far the other way, right? And so obviously we're all trying to constantly find our balance, like here in this dimension, right? Okay, maybe even multiple dimensions. But let's keep going here, Taurus, and see what is showing up here in your fourth week. Okay, so we said this could be from around July 24th, doesn't matter, it could be July 21st, which would be the beginning of Leo season, but our 22nd, 21st. Anyway, July 24th through the 31st, or we said it could even also go into the first or second week of August, okay? But this is also another slowdown of energy here so far, Taurus, but nothing is set in stone, right? In the tarot, we always have choices, okay? This is the energy as of right now, okay? So what we have here for you is that Four of Staves, or Four of Wands, if you also want to call it that. Excuse me, I forgot my water. Anyways, all right. It's now in that reverse position here, Taurus. And it's following, again, the Ten of Sacred Circles in the reverse position. So this could be if we are isolating ourselves too much, or if we're not feeling valued and we're getting depressed about that, or if we're not feeling financially abundant in the third week in some way. This could then trickle into that fourth week with the Four of Staves in reverse position. This could be talking about a celebration or wedding, or just any type of celebration put on hold. It doesn't necessarily have to be a wedding, right? Or a celebratory energy, if it's not necessarily an event. But it is also a reluctancy at this current time to be vulnerable in some way. So if this card, okay, was in the right side up position, we would see these two Egyptian people at some type of party talking to each other, and they're really comfortable. We see the wine and the cheese in the foreground, and then we see these two people talking to each other. They could be at a party, or they could be the only two people in the room, right? Or they feel like that. So that is that vulnerability, comfortability, okay? And when we talk about Four of Staves, it could be about unions, not just romantic, it could also be platonic with friends or family, or even self-love. But because it's reversed, there's a lack of vulnerability, or a union put on hold, celebration put on hold. When we talk about, like we said in the beginning of the reading, because the majority of your minor arcana were all wands, fire sign energy. This could be for some people like a small health issue, but nothing to be scared of, right? I'm not trying to like freak people out or anything like that. It doesn't feel like anything big if it is health. If it's not health, it could just be feeling a creative block, or not feeling passionate or fired up, or not really ready to take action about something. So again, the fire sign cards are action cards, but it's in the reverse position. Okay, so again, maybe a celebration or celebratory energy that is put on hold. Okay, so now though, here Taurus, let's look what's underneath it to get even more insight about why maybe this card is in the reverse position. All right, so what do we have here? We have, again, past energy. We have the King of Wands, that's your other Wands cards. It's in the reverse position. And we have the Five of Cups in the right side up position in your past, okay? And again, these are sponsored cards, kind of what made it possible for this one to come out in that future, current, future, current possibilities, probabilities, okay, position, okay? So, with the King of Wands in the reverse position here, there definitely could have been someone's confidence or leadership skills, or just feeling abundant in their finances and their values in the past that wasn't in the more favorable position, okay? It could also be here, Taurus, that there was maybe some type of travel, okay, because the way that they show this card in this deck is they call the King of Wands the Prince of the Chariot of Fire, right? So normally chariots in the tarot would be Cancer energy, right? It's currently Cancer season when I'm filming this, but it's also about travel when you see the chariot, okay? And so again, because it's in that reverse position, I want to show it to you a little bit more closely there. Okay, show it to you right side up too, even though yours was reversed. Hopefully you can see the chariot. So maybe in the past, Taurus, there was some type of travel also that could have been taking place, but it didn't happen. It could also be, just like we said with the Four of Staves, right? There could have been a lack of passion or creativity, or there was a creative block, or there could have been some health issues in the physical body, or there was some type of action that didn't take place in the past. So maybe it's re-triggering you, or triggering someone in the future, current, present energies, and then it's like we see that it happened again in the past. So that's obviously a trigger, right? Now, this one was this way. So Taurus, and then when we look at the Five of Cups in the right side up position in the past, perhaps somebody or something was only focusing on the things that had gone wrong with that lack of creativity, lack of passion, lack of travel, lack of confidence, maybe. It doesn't have to be all these things, or it can be one or all. Or the lack of action in the physical body or health in some way. So that's definitely enough to, cause someone to maybe only focus on the negative or not realize that they still have people and places that want to help them and manifest whatever that you or they want to manifest. But in the past, somebody maybe was dwelling on that, and so then it's coming up again in the future, current possibilities energy with that Four of Spades in the reverse position. Okay, so now Taurus, let's see here what we have as your tarot confirmation card. This card is going to come in and confirm all four cards, all 4 weeks that we kind of just talked about. And it is a combination of past and future energy. So it's like, if we continue on the path that we're at now, that we've been reading so far, this could happen, but it could also be changed, right? Because we have free will and we always have choice. So the card that you got for confirmation is the Three of Swords in the right side up position here, Taurus, okay? And I'm going to just put it next to your fourth card, that Four of Spades in the reverse position. So now the Three of Swords comes in here, and it's like, well, if you want the pain, the hurt, the heartache, the betrayal possibly, or just the stress that you had in the first week, the Ten of Swords, the anxiety, worry, overthinking, mental exhaustion, leading to physical exhaustion, right? If you want to repeat that again, you can, or they can. But the Three of Swords is also like, it doesn't have to be this way because it's a confirmation card, Taurus. So I feel that really in your third and fourth week here, the end of July, even into August, is about separating things from the past, taking those lessons that we've learned and integrating them, but not going to the extremes. And also, like, not trying to do everything on our own. So relying on our support system, whatever that is, friends, family, romantic partner, mental health care worker, etc., whatever it is. So we can also have a balance too. So it's like all this, again, fire card energy from the past and a little bit in the future. It's like taking the physical action, but not yet because it's in that reverse position with the Three of Swords. Because really the only card you have here, Taurus, is that Ace of Cups in the second week, which is like that emotional happiness or fulfillment in some way. Everything else you have here is either too much swords, energy, air, logical thinking, overthinking, anxiety, worry, betrayal. Okay. You only have one Pentacles, Earth sign energy like you, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, but it's in the reverse position. So perhaps there also needs to be more grounding here in the physical body. So that would help us with the anxiety, the worry, overthinking. Okay. Going for a walk, taking a bath, talking to a friend, whatever your grounding rituals are. Because, yeah, I mean, you have a little bit of every element here, but they're not in balance yet. Okay, Taurus? And there's nothing wrong with that. We all have things we have to work on and from time to time, right? So I would just maybe say, do more grounding. It's good to connect with the emotions, but don't let it overwhelm you. We still want to take physical action in the physical body. Um, what else? Yeah, I feel that you can, again, with this Three of Swords, and then we'll move on to your Oracle card. Um, you can flip that because it is in that combination of past and future energy. So if we want the support system from friends and family, if we want the finances, the money, the wealth in a good position, we have to let others in to help us and to not isolate so much. If we want some type of union, whether it's romantic, platonic, friends or family, etc., or self love, if we want more celebratory energy, um, we can't be scared to take action. It's just like everything in moderation and balance. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense so far. All right. But let's see here, Taurus, what your Oracle card is as well. And so I said in the beginning of the reading, it had all this red and orange and white and yellow. So it looks like fire to me. Okay. And the name of this card is Passion of the Wild Red Mother. And this is from the Rumi Oracle deck. He was a 14th, 15th century, around there, Persian poet. And they took some of his poetry and they made these beautiful cards for this oracle deck. So we'll read the poem real quickly and then I'll summarize as best and as fast as possible for you guys. All right, but it's really beautiful. It looks very abstract here to me. Maybe you'll see something else in it yourself. So let me just show you the card a little closer. It's really cool though. All right, so let's see what this one has to say. Okay. Passion of the Wild Red Mother. Don't ask the conscious ones about the wine. Behold the glowing effect of it in the eyes of the drunks. Bring me your unreasonableness, your insanity, your love without reason, and your passion, the passion that makes you crazy and shoos all logical restraint from your mind. Leave your ordered thoughts, your sensible plans, and appropriate attire at my door. Put your animal fur on and sing to me in gibberish. When my beautiful goats die, I make drums from their skins, and their spirits live on in my passionate play. When my birds drop their feathers, I gather them up and put them in my hair. Come drum with me as I place feathers in your hair, and we honor the spirits of my animals, of your animal nature too, wild and free as you are in truth. Stick your tongue out and growl at those who try to tame you with their guilt, shame, or fear. Do you think I give a damn for any of their silly games, those games of reason and logic? Of course you should do it this way, they say. It makes sense. But I care not for what makes sense. I care for what brings you alive. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that one a lot. I haven't seen this one in a minute. I like that it mentioned wine, and I think I had like a Freudian slip earlier when I was talking about the staves or even the cups, and I said wine, and I didn't mean to. So that was kind of funny that the wine came up again. I like that it said let go of too much of that logical mind. Again, 10 of Swords, 3 of Swords. So don't be preoccupied or overthinking with things. But yeah, I really like that. That's beautiful. Let's see what else here it says. And of course, it's talking about passion, all those things we talked about too with the fire sign energy and the fire cards here. All right, so let's see what else it says. It says, this oracle brings you guidance. You have divine permission to do something ridiculous. Be it ridiculous in your own mind for your age or career path, or some identity or version of yourself you or another holds. The more ridiculous or inappropriate it seems, the more it moves you from your heart. Without rhyme or reason, the better. This is not about hurting people or behaving without a moral code. It is about a childish indulgence and questionable justification for letting the ego misbehave. It is not about the ego at all. The wild red mother eats ego for breakfast. This guidance is about listening to the truth of your heart and allowing your soul to throb with aliveness, making that more important than any restriction, opinion, judgment, or fear the mind, yours or that of others, could summon. Okay. And then there's a little meditation that goes with this card if you feel guided. Let's see. Make sure. Okay, yeah, it's not that long. All right. So if you want to get into the energy of this card, it says, place your hands open before you and say the following aloud. I call on the passionate wild red mother who loves me without condition and the brother of my soul, Rumi. I ask for your guardianship onto the path of the divine passion now. I ask for your guardianship onto the path of divine passion now. May I lead with my heart, dance in life without fear, and surrender into truth, singing with my soul, becoming a leader of the new way of love upon this sacred earth. It is safe for me to be in my wild divinity. It is the only safe and true way for me to thrive. I am blessed now and in the wild red mother's unconditional loving protection and grace. So be it. All right. So yeah, that is very nice. I like this here for you, Taurus. Feel free to let me know in the comments down below if you feel comfortable, how this may resonate for you, or even if it doesn't, let me know that too. Always check your other placements too. But yeah, that is your reading, dear Taurus. I'm going to check the time real quickly and then we'll switch over to Gemini. We're about 36 and a half minutes or so. All right, so I'll make a mental note for the timestamps for later. But yeah, let's go ahead and let these cards charge a little bit with the crystals, and we'll do, of course, some nice shuffling. Maybe not so nice shuffling because that's what the message of that card was, right? It doesn't always have to be nice. I mean, we don't want to be mean to people, but you can get silly and goofy and let out your inner child and all that stuff too. Okay. Or at least that's how I interpreted some of it. All right. So let's see here. C for Gemini. Switch to Gemini. All right. And just kind of throw these in here randomly. And again, let it sit with the crystals. All right. Oh, I have this one too. Okay. So there we go. Make a little triangle with our selenite crystals there. So yeah, let's do another sound bell. Sound bells are a great way to clear the energy of the cards from the previous reading. Again, for me to reground and for you guys as well. And to make sure that I'm a clear channel for the messages from Spirit, and make sure I'm delivering that to you guys as clearly as possible. All right, so let's see here. We're going to do this one for Gemini. And yeah, if you want to take a couple of deep breaths, whatever you feel guided to do, or you can just listen as well. It may be loud for a few moments, but not forever. All right. So yes, this is for Gemini. As soon as I get my hair out of the way. All right, here we go for Gemini. All right. Gemini. Let's go ahead and see what we have here for you, Gemini, for July. No. No. All right, let's do some shuffling here first. It's okay, no one's there, Hermes. It's okay. You know, I told him I saw the mail truck go by, but he didn't hear it. Or maybe he did, but he didn't see it. So, out of sight, out of mind. All right. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for air sign Gemini, the twins, for July 2023. What do they need to see? Spirits guide my hands. Messages for air sign Gemini, the twins, for July 2023. What do they need to see? What do they need to know for the highest vibration? Spirits guide my hands. Messages for air sign Gemini, the twins, for July 2023. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Four cards only, please, spirits. Messages for air sign Gemini for July 2023. Gemini. Coming out. All right. Messages for air sign Gemini, the twins, for July 2023. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Okay. All right. So we're going to take the top and the bottom. And figure out in a minute exactly how they want these cards placed. Some of them flipped over and stuff, but they're generally in the order that they were received or came through so far. All right. Air sign Gemini, the twins, for July 2023. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for air sign Gemini, the twins, for July 2023. One card only, please. What do they need to see? All right. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to take the top and the bottom. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for air sign Gemini, the twins, for July 2023. What do they need to see? What do they need to know for their highest vibration and truth? One card only, please. Spirits, messages for air sign Gemini. All right. That was fast. Okay. Let me make sure they want this before I switch to that page. Spirits, did you want the You Who Show the Way Oracle card for this July Gemini reading? Okay, I do. So I'll leave it there. I'll just open the page for later. All right. Now let's go ahead and confirm all those other cards real quickly. There. Spirits in love and light, respect and reverence before, during, and after. Thank you for all advice, wisdom, and guidance given, and thank you, of course, for listening. Spirits, did you want the Prince of Staves in reverse position to represent the first tarot card for this July Gemini reading? Okay, thank you. And Spirits, did you want the Five of Sacred Circles in the reverse position to represent the second tarot card for this July Gemini reading? Thank you. And Spirits, did you want the Eight of Staves in the reverse position to represent the third tarot card for this Gemini July reading? It's like no and yes. Yes and no. Let's see. Spirits, did you want the Eight of Staves in the right side up position to represent the third tarot card for this Gemini July reading? Okay. So it said yes, and it was more firm in that, so we'll receive it that way. And Spirit says you want the Hanged Man in the right side up position to represent the fourth tarot card for this Gemini July reading. Yes, okay. And Spirit says you want the Six of Wands in the right side up position to represent the tarot confirmation card for this Gemini July reading. Yes, all right. Well, let's see where they want these cards as well. Ooh, okay. I'm not sure exactly, Gemini, but I feel like it maybe wants to go like this. Let's go ahead and double check and confirm. All right. Spirit says you want me to talk about the Five of Wands in the right side up position and the Two of Swords in the right side up position when I talk about the Prince of Staves in the reverse position. Okay, so they want those there. All right, thank you. And Spirit says you want me to talk about the Six of Swords in the right side up position and the Two of Sacred Circles in the right side up position when I talk about the Five of Sacred Circles in the reverse position. No. Okay, they don't want that there. Maybe they want them all here. Let's see. Spirit, did you want me to talk about the Six of Swords in the right side up position and the Two of Sacred Circles in the right side up position when I talk about the Prince of Staves in the reverse position? Okay, so they do want them all under this first card, and that's fine. I do what they tell me, so I'll just move everything up a little bit. Make sure we have enough room to get it all on the camera, or yes, for the photo, all that stuff. Okay, all on camera, yes, that too. All right, so let's take a quick picture here, Gemini, and then we'll go ahead and get started. And just make sure there's no glare on the cards, so sometimes it's better if I just stand up and do it. All right, so Gemini. Let's see what time we're at now. Almost about 48 minutes. So I will make a mental note and I'll put that in the timestamps for people later. I usually like to put one that says before shuffling and then after shuffling for some people who don't care or don't have time to watch the shuffling. All right. So let's see what we have here for you, Gemini, for July. You have, I'm just making sure, just like Taurus Gemini, you have only one major arcana, and it's not necessarily a good or a bad thing, but it is, basically the more major arcanas you have can signify a lot of dramatic change if they're in the first four on the top, but you really only have one here. So it's not that changes aren't happening, but it's maybe not back to back to back, if that makes sense. You do have a little bit of Pisces energy here, all right? But let's go ahead and call out your cards in just a moment and talk about the dates when maybe some of these things may occur. I also want to look at real quickly what the majority of your minor arcana is. That can give us a little underlying theme to your reading as well here. So we've got Two Swords, Two Pentacles, and Three Wands. Four Wands. Okay. So it's definitely Wands, all right? That's the majority of your minor arcana. So that can be an underlying theme of either health and or our passion or creativity, taking physical actions in our physical body, all right? So we'll talk about it more a little bit later. But yeah, let's now talk about those dates that some of these things may occur. Okay, so I'll say them real quickly in the beginning, and then I'll say them again when we're on each card, but it's not set in stone as far as the timing. So we have the first card can be from around July 1st through July 8th. All right. Second card can be from around July 9th through July 16th. Third card can be from around July 17th through the 23rd. Fourth card can be from around July 24th through the 31st, or even into maybe the first week or two of August. All right. But yeah, let's see here, Gemini. And again, welcome to everyone. If you're just tuning in later after I put in the timestamps, this is a general reading and a timeless reading for Gemini. Everyone has Gemini in their chart somewhere, so all are welcome. Okay. We do have, let's call out your cards here now. So Gemini, we have the Prince of Staves, also known as Prince of Wands, in the reverse position. We have the Five of Sacred Circles, also known as Five of Pentacles, in reverse position. We have the Eight of Staves or Eight of Wands in the right side up position here. And then we have the Hanged Man, also known as the Hanged One, in this deck in the right side up position. And then we'll talk about the other cards, as we get to it and where Spirit wanted me to talk to you about those cards. All right. But yeah, let's see here, Gemini. If I was to pause your reading here for a moment and look at, well, when is the best time for me to accomplish something within my control during the month of July, let's say, okay? I would say not the first or second week of July, perhaps, but more when we get to that third, fourth week, end of July into maybe even August. The energy is going to pick up more and have more speed and momentum. So again, if there's something that you wanted to accomplish within your control, I would wait to the third or the fourth week of July, or even the first or second week of August. Okay. All right. Let's start in order here, though, Gemini. So we're starting with your first card, first week. This can be energy from the recent past that we're still kind of picking up, and it's can also be whatever the recent past is for you. So it could be a couple of days ago, weeks, months, years, etc. And this reading also, when you're coming to this reading, it could be about you, Gemini, or it could be about one person you're dealing with, or multiple people you're dealing with, or your general environment situation. So always keep that in mind. All right. But we start off your first card with a little bit of an energetic slowdown, gentle reminder or challenge here, Gemini, with that Prince of Staves in the reverse position, Prince of Wands in the reverse position, okay? This could be that somebody isn't quite ready to level up in one area of their life or multiple areas of their life with the Prince of Staves in the reverse position. It could be somebody is also, during this time frame, not feeling very confident in some way. It could be they're not ready to take action because it is a fire card in the reverse position, so the action isn't happening as of yet right now. And of course, this reading is coming to you a little later than I wanted because I had friends in town, but again, whatever the past is for you here. This is really where, if you saw me shuffling, Gemini, Spirit wanted all of your top and the bottom of both of your decks here to all be under that first card in the first week, okay? It still goes with your second week too, but they want it, all kind of right here. So this is going to give us more insight about maybe why this card shows up here. It could also be a small health issue for somebody. It doesn't have to be. It can be a creative block, or again, just not feeling super confident to make some type of action in the physical body, in the physical world just yet, when that Prince of Staves is in that reverse position. But let's go ahead and see what's under it. All right, so we have one of your other Wands cards, the Five of Wands in the right side up position, and the Two of Swords in the right side up position. Okay, again, this is past energy. We call these the sponsor cards. And they are responsible for this one to come out in your first card in your reading, in your future current probabilities, possibilities section. Okay, so with this Five of Wands in the right side up position in the past, There could have been some energy where somebody was taking something way too seriously here, Gemini, and they needed to, or you needed to in the past, this is past energy, um, have more of a backup system as far as what is okay if things don't go according to plan A, what's plan B, C, D, E, F, G, okay, etc., whatever it is. Okay, it's because the Five of Wands, is usually shown as five guys fighting, but they're not actually fighting. They're playing and they're practicing. Okay, so a lot of people, associate the Five of Wands with this really hard fighting type of energy, and it is not necessarily super fun energy, but I don't think it's always fighting, right? Because again, we don't know these people are already know each other, but they're practicing their defense mechanisms. They're practicing also the higher vibrational frequency of fire sign energy. Okay, and getting into the physical body and taking action. So when we have this past energy of the Five of Wands in the right side up position of somebody taking something too seriously or not having enough backup plans or relying on their support system, whether it's friends, family, romantic lover, mental health care worker, etc. Then in the past, though, it did lead to the Two of Swords in the right side up position, which really makes sense here, Gemini, because it's almost like in the past, somebody really needed to make a decision about something, but they haven't done it yet. Okay, in the past position, so they're still kind of in that in between place in the past, and it could be showing up here again in your future current uh, probabilities, possibilities area. Okay, because the Two of Swords is about learning to integrate the heart chakra and the logical brain, right? Logical mind. So it's about using our emotions, but also, making sense in the 3D physical world with something here. Okay. So when this is showing up underneath, again, that first card here, Gemini, it could be that somebody is still stuck in some type of limbo and somebody still maybe hasn't made a decision that they were supposed to maybe already have made in the past. Okay, again, could be why that Prince of Staves is in the reverse position. But now let's look again what is underneath that as well. Okay, the Spirit wanted all of these together. So now you have the Six of Swords in the right side up position and the Two of Sacred Circles, Two of Pentacles in the right side up position. So again, past energy, sponsor cards, why this one is here, right? Interesting to know if you're into numerology. I don't really do the numerology myself, but you definitely have two cards. Okay, so one, they're both past position. One is Two of Swords, and one is Two of Sacred Circles or Two of Pentacles. So there could be some kind of double meaning there with numerology as far as the number two, but I don't really get into that, so I don't know. If it's something that may resonate with you, just do your quick little Google search or whatever, all right? But yeah, so Gemini, with this Six of Swords in the right side up position in the past, though, somebody knew that they perhaps were stressed out about something, or someone else was stressed out, or everybody was stressed out. And so we see this Japanese guy meditating here. Okay, he's got two bodies of water behind him. All the swords are going down into the ground. So the water in the tarot does represent our emotions. So somebody here in the past was trying to, again, do what the Two of Swords was saying, was integrate the logical mind and not overthink, so it turns into anxiety, worry, overthinking, but then also integrate the emotions, the intuition, the heart chakra, all those things, okay? So when someone in the past started to kind of be aware of that or start to pick up on it or want to work on it, then you have that Two of Sacred Circles, Two of Pentacles. So wanting to start from the beginning on something. Now, because it's Sacred Circles or Pentacles, it could be money. So wanting to build more, it's a two, right? all the twos. And the highest number in tarot is 10. So it's not gotten to the highest point yet, but is at the beginning place. So it is important as well. So here we see this Native American man. He's calling to the bear spirit for more money, for more value. So if it's not money and you're in the past, if you had pretty good finances or money, it could be, I want to be valued more. I want others to value me. I want to value myself more, etc. Vice versa, all the things. Now the really cool thing, right, when we turn the two, or not the two, when we turn this card on the side, right, the circle of energy that is around the Native American man and the bear spirit. How can I save more for the winter? How can I hibernate and incorporate that into my life with my finances, saving my finances? How can I incorporate more to value myself and or others? But if we turn it on the side, we have that infinity symbol, okay? Figure 8 on the side. So that is the symbol that we also see in the Magician card in the tarot. So it's about a manifestor energy, okay? So somebody in the past, was wanting to manifest something, okay? Start from the beginning and then go upwards, okay? So, Gemini. Since we're talking about these two swords that were just here, and you're an air sign, or depending on where you have Gemini in your chart, right? Gemini has air sign energies. So that would be swords, logical mind, crown chakra. So it can be even more easy for an air sign person or someone who has a lot of air in their chart to be overthinkers, right? So that could also be what was going on here in the past, Gemini. But let's kind of see what's happening now in your second week, because it all kind of, stems together here, but I want to keep moving forward, okay? So when we come to your second week, we have now the 5 of Sacred Circles in the reverse position, 5 of Pentacles in the reverse position. So it is another energetic blockage, gentle reminder, or slowdown. But don't worry so much, Gemini, because then things start picking up really fast in that third week. So we're going over it, but don't worry, because there's other stuff coming up, okay? And it is usually for a reason, right? It will be different for everybody. But with this 5 of Sacred Circles in the reverse position, which we said could be from around July 9th through the 16th, there's this feeling of somebody again, or some energy, if it's not a person, not ready to level up in one area of their life or multiple areas of their life, not ready to become more confident, or not ready to also go into some type of spiritual journey around their values, around their finances, because it's in the reverse position. If this was right side up, I'm going to bring it a little closer for you guys. You would see this Native American woman who's a female shaman, and then another woman who's opening the hut. This hut is far away from the rest of the villagers, right, the community. And so if it was in that right side up position, it would be like going in to, again, have some type of spiritual awakening, to find out how can I be more valued, value others, how can I work on the finances, all those things. But it's in that reverse position here, Gemini. So I think it's just what we already talked about in the first week. It's just kind of echoing that again in a slightly different way. But it does, what's the way to say it? It does have this feeling of, because I forgot to mention, right, in that first week here, Gemini, we did have July 3rd, the full moon in Capricorn, right? So that's when we have any type of full moon energies are more intense, whether they're good or bad, right? So coming out of the full moon energy, if things weren't as favorable as we wanted them to be, and they felt maybe more intense during that time period, because it is when we get more energy during the full moon, right? Maybe not necessarily more energy is as in like, well, I didn't get shit done or I didn't sleep well. Okay, that can also happen too. If you get too much energy, then it will feel the opposite of having more energy, but just more of a heightened awareness around things during that full moon. I don't remember what else was going on in the first and second week of July as far as the astrology notes. I did post those already here on my channel with the Cancer and Leo readings. It's in the beginning of the video if you feel guided. But let me just look here real quickly if there's anything that's jumping out to me in particular with Gemini. Not necessarily. We do have, by the time we get to the third week, July 17th, a new moon in Cancer. So the new moon is when it looks like a C, all right? And so it's good for planting seeds or starting something. We also have on the same day, the North Node goes retro, and it's now going to be in fire sign Aries. So your North Node is basically what you're supposed to be doing in your human body at this time. Your South Node is more karmic lessons, past lives, that thing. Okay. So it could, this energy just in particular in your reading, Gemini, could be just mainly about you, but you always kind of have to look at the collective as a whole too, and kind of see what's going on in the general astrology too, because that can always add things. Okay. With that being said, though, let's keep going and finally let go of all this stuff, right? Because like I said, by the time you get to the third week here, Gemini, things really start to pick up. Now there's forward momentum, now there's speed, there's progress, and something is coming in here super fast, Gemini, okay? And it is something shocking or surprising. We don't necessarily know yet from this card whether it's something good or bad, okay, but it is shocking or surprising. We see these 8 wands flying through the air, startling the birds, okay? So, because it's a wands card here, Gemini, it could be news or something shocking around health, but it doesn't have to be. It could be about health about you or health about someone else. Again, it doesn't have to be. It could be something about something shocking or surprising around a physical action in the physical body, in the physical 3D world that's wanting to come through too, okay? But I feel generally that this feels really good for you. It doesn't necessarily feel bad, okay, because of the cards that are following it as well. It feels nicer. Like, again, your first and second week were a little bit more challenging. And then I feel like by the third and the fourth week, things start to pick up and get easier here for you, Gemini. So yay for that, okay? But yeah, let's see what you got for your fourth card, okay? And we said that this fourth card could be from around July 24th through 31st, or even the first week or so of August. Now we have the Hanged Man, or the Hanged One, as it's known in this deck. So we got a little bit of Pisces energy here. It's not their official card, okay? But this is like an incubation period, right? We see this baby in the mother's womb, okay? So it's like whatever this shocking or surprising news that comes in around health, or comes in around taking action in the physical body, or getting the passion, the creativity back. It looks like it sends you or someone else with a general environment situation here, Gemini, into this really nice energy of like, well, you know what? Yeah, what if I did do it this way? Or what if I did do it that way? So I'm going to turn upside down like the traditional Hanged Man, and I'm going to look at it this way, I'm going to look at it that way. And I'll be like, what if I tried that? Or what if I did that? It's an exercise, right? And so it's like this incubation period. The baby can't stay, or not supposed to stay, in the mother's womb, right? So for no more than 9 months. If it was a physical man, like you would see in other decks, you can only hang upside down for a certain amount of time, or the blood's all going to go to your head, and really mess you up, right? So it's like a little bit of this restful period, also getting the nutrients and rest that we need, but it may be processing. If something comes in that's shocking and surprising, maybe you need time to process this, Gemini, or the other person, or multiple people, or the general environment situation. But it does feel really good. Again, I don't feel like that it is something bad, okay? Now, let's keep going though and see what else we have here for you as far as your tarot confirmation card. So this one is going to come in and confirm all 4 weeks, all 4 cards at the top that we just talked about. And my goodness, right? It is, like I said, really nice here for Gemini. You have the Six of Wands in the right side up position. So this is a combination of past and future energy, but it's coming in here and it's like, yeah, this is going to be good news. This is all about the Six of Wands energy, some type of celebration, okay, for momentum, movement, progress. It's also about passion, creativity, getting fired up, taking action about something. Six of Wands can be about going to a party or event, or if it's not necessarily an event, it could just be this happy energy, okay? They call the Six of Wands in this deck the Lord of Victory, okay? So, hell yeah, Gemini, right? So, if you can stick through it, right, for the first week or two of July, then other really nice, good, juicy things are coming here for you, okay? So, please feel free to let me know in the comments down below how that may come into shape for you if you feel guided, okay? But let's also talk about your oracle card here real quickly. It's really pretty. It looks like maybe a lighthouse or something. There's some mountains in the background, but then there's definitely some type of sea maybe in the foreground. I won't know until we look it up in the book. But this oracle card is from the Remy oracle deck, depending on how you pronounce it. He was a 13th century to 15th century, around there, Persian poet. So they took some of his poetry and made them into these really beautiful oracle cards, okay? So the one that you got for this time period, Gemini, is You Who Show the Way, okay? So I'm going to read the poem here real quickly, and then maybe a short meditation, and that's it. Okay. We'll try to do it as quickly as possible here. All right. So you who show the way. The logical mind runs away from drowning. Lovers accept drowning in the sea as their destiny. The logical mind finds consolidation in reaching a level of comfort in life. Lovers are focused beyond their own comfort. I have looked to you in my darkest moments, searched for you as though fumbling for the candle and matches during an unexpected and insurmountable blackout. I am the ship at sea, seeking you as my guiding light. Nay, I am the sea, rising up to the horizon because I yearn to be closer to you. Then, oh, to my greatest relief, you rise like a phoenix from the ocean, casting hollowed golden light all around you, this great blazing angel of holy fire. In a sweet instant, my soul rests in your presence. The sea becomes calm, the darkness abates. Your light reveals truth, and through your loving presence, I know my true self again. I am what you are. Even when it appears I am returning after being lost in the darkness, as though I could never be extinguished. I am divine light. I am you, a living sun. Well, that's pretty. I feel like somebody else got that card for the month of July, or maybe it was for June. But it does feel familiar. Not that it necessarily matters, but really pretty imagery here. So let's see what else this little oracle has to say. I'm trying to also think if there was a card or multiple cards here on the table I would put it with. I would probably put it, Gemini, with the Eight of Staves and also maybe the Six of Wands. Okay. Feels like very similar energy here. But yes, let's see. It says, when you get this card, this oracle brings the message that if you have a situation in your midst that feels impossible to resolve, the divine has it covered, like in the first 2 weeks of July. Do the sacred honoring ritual below and let it be sorted out by a power greater than your own. It shall be sorted, and you shall see your sun rise again. Just as day follows night again and again, so too shall your sun rise after any issue or struggle. Have faith and hope and know that this is a sensible approach to any dilemma, no matter how serious it may seem. For what use is it to bemoan the presence of day, even on the longest night, when you know in every moment dawn is ever closer to breaking once again. Your hope then is not foolish, but is wise. All right. Let's see. It says, also up here before I get to the meditation, it says, you who help others are a worthy recipient of the help of the great beloved. Be prepared to surrender all plans and convictions about what you can and cannot be, about what you think you know and what you think you need. Allow the benevolent grace of the beloved to take you through the great waves as the sea becomes calm and serene under the living divine light. Okay. Now let's see what this meditation says. It says, place your hands by your heart and say the following aloud. The divine who loves me unconditionally blesses me now with such grace that my life aligns with divine order and all becomes golden, blessed, and mercifully held in the compassionate consciousness of the Creator. I thank you for the courage and faith I have needed to endure the night, and I now celebrate the coming dawn. I see it breaking, I see its light, and I thank you for this mercy. With Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, I am now shown the way to the dawn. It is at my feet, and together we shall step into the gift of a new day. So be it. And this is other little thing under it, really cute. It says, if you have a specific issue that you would like addressed, hand it over to the divine beloved now by talking about it, just as if you were having a conversation with your oldest and deepest friend. For that is exactly what will be taking place. When you talk to the divine, then you have explained your feelings, your doubts, and your fears. Let it go and know that the situation is held in the grace of the great beloved. All right. So I like that, right? Talk to somebody, the energy, whatever you want to call it, almost like you're talking to a friend. So I like that for you, Gemini. But yeah, let me know if you feel guided in the comments down below, how this may resonate for you or show up in your life, if you feel guided. But also don't forget, I will be uploading the photo in just a few minutes of all the cards here, the one photo. So if you want to see that, all you have to do is click in the description box below and follow the little instructions on how to get to my Facebook page. The one for Taurus will be there as well. Forgot to say that for Taurus. But yes, and thank you guys so much for your energy, for your views and your likes. They're all great free ways to support the channel. So if you want to subscribe and you haven't yet, it is free. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button. It just notifies you when I put out new videos. And if you want to hit the like button or even the dislike button, right? It also interacts with the video and shares it more with others on YouTube, which is another way to show appreciation if you feel guided. All right. But anyway, you guys take care. And again, hope you enjoy this time period, and sorry for the delay. And hopefully for August, I will be starting with Leo, and Virgo, but then maybe I'll do Taurus and Gemini right after. That way you guys, won't have to wait like you did this time. So anyway, you guys take care and I'll see you later. All right, bye.